Hey there, this is John Paulus. You're listening to Life's Potluck Buffet, and today's episode is all about details, details, details. Well, actually, it's only about one detail, so stick around for Worksheet 46. Like Card 46, Worksheet 46 is based on the idea that when you're cleaning something, you can't clean the whole thing at once. So on the upper right-hand corner of the card and of the worksheet here is a yellow Dutch oven that has the greens that were cooking in it have gotten all crusted on the sides. And if you're going to clean that dirty pot, you start with one area. You can't just scrub the whole thing at once, right? So that's the principle of Worksheet 46. Worksheet 46 has the title, Start with One Detail. And in the middle of the worksheet is the outline of a Dutch oven in yellow with yellow handles, but also just an outline. It's not the filled in Dutch oven as you see in the other representations of it. Because the instructions are draw or write about one detailed action you took recently and talk about the result. All right, so let's do this worksheet. I'm going to get a pen, and I'm going to get a pen. I'm going to use a black pen today because what I started was a publication, and this was not too long ago, but the results happened over the last few months and are continuing. So I want to talk about how I started this project. So it's a publication, and it's a publication for our community. And so the first thing I did in laying this out, besides I designed it from scratch, really, was to kind of start with the title page, with the with the organization logo, with I'll put the logo there. So I've drawn a outline of a page now. I'll put a bottom on it, and there are a couple of lines, and there's a shape that's the blobby-like shape representing the logo. So I did the logo. I did the various titles. There were several titles because this is in several languages, and so it was the title in each language, and that's how I got started on laying this out. Really, just by placing the title of the publication. I'm going to write the year up there. So placing the title of the publication, the logo, the name, and then the titles in various languages that the publication is available in. And that really led to me having a firm foundation of doing the project. And the result of that was partnerships with various groups connected to the language-speaking communities in the publication, and also partnerships with related groups through the larger project that the publication was part of. And this simple action really set off the tone for the publication, and it really set off my first step because it got me started on putting together this whole publication, which was quite a lot of work and quite a daunting task. But by starting with those small actions, I was able to begin the publication, then make the partnerships that helped me finish the publication, and then make partnerships through the publication, the idea behind it, that all started with, putting the logo, a title, the year, the title, and placeholders for the titles in various languages, and then going ahead with it. So that's a good example. Other actions I could think of are, making a call. I think a couple of weeks ago, making a call with someone, small action, short conversation to set something up, and then the getting the ball rolling on that. Other small actions, having a short meeting about a new project. Just putting that meeting on the calendar. And this reminds me of the worksheet when we have the Tomorrow Day worksheet. And if you haven't seen the Tomorrow Day worksheet, check it out. But the idea behind that, again, is doing something small, like making a little appointment with yourself about something you need to get done, and starting with that little detail, and then doing it and moving on from there. And all of this really helps when there's a particularly large project, I find. There are large projects that grow out of small things, for sure, and we have a lot of cards about that, and I've discussed that a lot, where there's something small that happens to you, or a small thing that you did unexpectedly that ends up being a really big and important thing for you. But in terms of approaching a large project, I find it's always good for me to start with just a little detail of the project. It could be as little as a graph, like with the one I first talked about, the publication, starting with just a graphic, just like what the design is going to be, what the, in this case, the title page layout was going to be. And just by starting with that small detail, it sets the tone for what the rest of the project is going to be. So you're actually doing a really big thing, because in ordering and designing that page, I set out the priorities for that project. And the priority was the multiple languages and having all of those languages visible on all the publications. So it was clear that this was available in all of those languages, and making and bringing those out. So in a sense, that small detailed action that I took really resulted in the whole publication being the way it needed to look for the project to be a success. And then to also make the partnerships and signal to others what kind of thing you're doing. Because people, when they see something, they know if it resonates with them or not. Visuals are very powerful in that way, where you could tell almost immediately whether or not you're resonating with a particular visual. And that, knowing the how that might look, knowing what the audience is, and delivering what that audience that you're engaging with wants and needs and is going to respond to, is the central part of this whole exercise. Because that one detail makes a big difference. And when you're doing something that resonates with others, and you're designing something to resonate with others based on their needs and wants, then you'll see the results of your one detailed action almost immediately. So give worksheet 46 a try and start with one detailed action. And I'll see you next time on Life's Potluck Buffet. Thanks for joining me today.